Hello?
Hey, I can hear you. What's up?
We talked about this before, but I I
Yeah? What's on your mind?
I feel really
Take your time.
lost.
What's on your mind?
I said I feel really lost because nothing's happening
That
in my
sounds like an
life.
outro for your YouTube video. Are you working on a new one?
No, I said I feel really lost.
Got it. What's up?
I said I feel lost.
Yeah, I hear you. Do you feel lost in a general sense? Or is it about something specific?
I feel lost because for over a year and a half, nothing's happening in my life. As I changed my life course and moved to where I am today, nothing's been happening, and I don't know if this would last forever. I just have so many doubts. I know that we have spiritual guides and this and that, but
That sounds really frustrating. You made a big change, but now it feels like you're stuck, and you're wondering if things will ever move forward. What kind of change were you hoping for when you moved?
nothing really. I knew that that previous path couldn't be anymore, so I just had to move country, and I wasn't hoping for anything. Nothing. I just was maybe following the flow.
Sorry, I'm having issues right now. Our systems are experiencing heavy load. Please try again later.
I said I wasn't hoping for anything, I was just following the flow.
Right? You weren't expecting anything specific, just going with the flow. But now it feels like the flow has stopped, and you're left in this uncertain space. Do you feel like you're waiting for something to happen, or is it more like you're unsure what to do next?
I'm not sure if the flow has stopped. It's just nothing's happening in my life, and I feel it's been long enough, and I feel nervous because this can't
It
last
sounds like
forever.
you're feeling the weight of time passing without any real change, even though you weren't expecting anything. A year and a half of the same thing makes you wonder if this is just how it's going to be. Do you feel restless, or is it more a sense of doubt about where this path is leading?
I feel doubts, more doubts.
That makes sense. The longer this goes on, the more you question if you're on the right path or if something needs to change. Are these doubts about whether you're doing the right thing or more about what's even possible for you?
I doubt if I'm doing the right thing, I'm on the right path. If I did the right thing, if I'm doing the right thing, if I'm missing something, if I'm doing something wrong.
That's a lot to carry. It sounds like you're questioning everything, your choices, your direction, and even if you're unknowingly making a mistake. Do you feel like you need clarity before moving forward? Or is it more that you don't even know what clarity would look like?
I don't know anymore what I'm here for. Like, I don't want to do anything about my life. I don't have anything I want to do. I'm not passionate anymore, like, about anything. I was never like this. It's never. Was always. I always knew what I wanted to do, but this is the first time in my life I have no idea, like, what to do with my life or anything, and I have no relationships, so I have no one that would be able to support me emotionally or financially. And if
That
this,
sounds really heavy. You've always had a sense of direction before, but now, for the first time, there's just nothing. No passion, no clear purpose, and no one close to lean on. That's a lonely and disorienting place to be. Do you feel like you've lost interest in things you used to enjoy? Or is it more that nothing feels meaningful anymore?
Well, it's not that I don't enjoy things. I enjoy a lot of things, but they're not my passions. For example, I like to cook for people that I love, which I don't have. I enjoy food. I enjoy sometimes when I want to write, I enjoy writing. I practice playing my instrument. It's not like I'm depressed. It's just, what is my passion? What is my purpose here? What do I want to do with my life? And if you ask me that, I want to do nothing and I feel good about it. And the thing is, this, my current life, I don't
I hear
like
you.
it.
It's not that you don't enjoy life. You do. You still find joy in things, but they don't feel like a deep passion or purpose. And when you ask yourself what you want to do with your life, the answer is nothing. And that doesn't even feel bad. It just is. It sounds like you're in a space where you're okay with just existing, but at the same time, you're questioning if that's enough. Do you feel like you should have a passion or purpose, or is it more that you're uncertain if this feeling will last?
Actually, I feel like I need to have a purpose. I'm the kind of person that's meaning driven. I can't just live a life that's mundane of any sense. I need to be I am built for this. I'm built for doing something. I know that about me.
That makes total sense. You're not the kind of person who can just drift through life. You need meaning, direction, something that drives you. And right now, you don't have that, which is why this feels so unsettling. Since you've always known what you wanted before, does it feel like you've outgrown your old dreams, or do they just not excite you anymore?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Did my last response not come through?
Okay, so my answer is like I said, something changed in my life, which was spirituality happened for me, and it totally changed my life, totally shifted my life. So, yeah, the previous things that I was gonna do, which was to become a psychologist, no longer applies. Like, I'm no longer that passionate at all about psychology because I can see how limited it is. I don't want to be a psychologist anymore. I don't need to explain anything. I don't want to study it anymore. I don't want to be it anymore. So now I don't know what to do. Like, well, I don't know.
That makes a lot of sense. Spirituality completely changed your perspective, and now the path you were once so sure about, psychology, feels small, limited, and just not right for you anymore. But without that, you're left in this open space with no clear direction. Do you feel like your new perspective is pointing you towards something else? Or is it more that it just took away what no longer fits, leaving you in this in between place?
Well, that's a good question, and let me think for a second.
Of course, take your time.
You can say maybe it took away what was sure or what was for me, and it's not yet given me what I should do next.
Yeah, I get that. It took away what was once certain, but it hasn't replaced it with something new yet. So now you're just in this in between space, knowing what isn't for you anymore, but having no idea what is. That kind of uncertainty can be frustrating, especially for someone like you who thrives on meaning. Do you feel like you're waiting for something to reveal itself? Or do you think you need to actively search for what's next?
It's not that I have, like, after my search has not resulted in anything, and I don't even know where to search anymore. Like, I tried different hobbies. I thought maybe I would be able to find a passion among them, but it didn't happen. And so, I tried that for a couple of months, and then just nothing anymore, nothing. I'm, I'm just waiting, yes. I don't know what else to do. I really don't know what else to do other than waiting. But I just can have so many doubts during the process where just nothing is bubbling up. Nothing is like, happening. Like,
Yeah, I get it. You did try searching. You explored different hobbies, hoping something would spark, but nothing did. So now you're just waiting because what else is there to do? But in that waiting, the doubts creep in. Doubts about whether you're missing something, whether you're doing it wrong, whether anything will ever come. It's like standing in a vast open space with no signs pointing you anywhere. And I imagine that's exhausting in its own way. Do you ever feel like you're running out of patience with this waiting?
you're exactly right. It's not that I'm running out of patience, but I wonder if I should be waiting at all. I'm just scared. What if I'm doing the wrong thing when I'm supposed to? What if I'm supposed to be doing something? Maybe I'm missing something. Blah 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 blah. Maybe I'm not supposed to be waiting at all. If anybody could give me a clear, clear like a guidance saying, yes, this is exactly what you should do, just keep waiting, and then I would have no problem. I can wait for another 10 years if that was, if that's that was what I'm supposed to do, if it's clear. But now it just, I don't know if I'm supposed to be waiting, because nothing's happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you completely. If you knew for certain that waiting was the right thing to do, you'd have no problem doing it, even for years. But the uncertainty, that nagging, what if I'm supposed to be doing something, is what's making this so hard. It's not the waiting itself, it's the fear that you shouldn't be waiting at all. And I get why that would be scary, because if you're supposed to be taking action, but you're just sitting here waiting, then what? What if you're missing something important? What if you're falling behind? And without a clear sign, how do you even know if this is the right path? I can't give you an absolute answer, but I can ask. When you imagine just trusting that waiting is the right thing to do, even without proof, does that feel right? Or does it still feel off?
It doesn't feel off, that's what I can tell you. But I don't know if it feels right. It feels good. If anybody could tell me, if I imagined that somebody told me that, yes, this is exactly what I'm supposed to do, I am excited. I'd love.
That's really interesting. The idea that waiting could be the right thing actually excites you. It doesn't feel wrong, it just feels uncertain. So it's not the waiting itself that's the problem, it's just the lack of confirmation. If you knew this was the right path, you'd actually feel good about it. That tells me something. Maybe deep down, you already sense that waiting is right for you, but the doubt is what's making it feel shaky. What if, instead of needing outside confirmation, you tried trusting that excitement you felt when imagining someone did confirm it? What if that excitement is your answer?
Okay, another thing is, you know, I don't have infinite money, and I, I, like what I have can
Yeah,
last
that's a
me.
real concern. Waiting feels fine in theory, but in reality, you still have practical needs, and money isn't infinite. So even if waiting feels right, there's this pressure. How long can you wait before you have to do something? Is that what's worrying you?
Yes, I, I have enough that would be able to last me for about a few years, and it's been a year and a half. It can still go on for maybe a year or for maybe 2 years before I exhaust everything that I had saved for my previous life course. And well, I technically don't need to do anything, and I don't want to, like, because what can I do? Basically, I can't do anything, and all the things I can think of doing, maybe just get a job like as a waiter in a restaurant or something like that. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. But just, because I don't know how long this would last. I don't know if I would have enough. Or I don't know if, what if, I have so many what ifs. I what if what if I need to do a job that I hate? But it doesn't make sense, because if it's something that I'm
Yeah,
supposed to.
that's a tough spot to be in. You technically don't need to do anything right now, and you really don't want to, especially if it means doing a job you'd hate. But the uncertainty, how long this will last, whether you'll run out of money, if you'll eventually be forced into something you don't want. That's what's weighing on you. It sounds like the fear isn't just about money itself, but about losing the freedom you have right now. If you knew that everything would work out before your savings ran out, this wouldn't even be a concern, right? But because you don't know, it's like this constant low level anxiety in the background.
Exactly.
That makes so much sense. It's not just about the money, it's about the unknown. If you knew that something meaningful would come before your savings ran out, you'd be fine. But because there's no guarantee, it feels like this ticking clock, and that's what makes the waiting feel risky. I guess the real question is, do you think you could trust yourself to figure things out if it ever came to that? Like, if your savings got low and you had to act, do you believe you'd find a way to handle it without ending up trapped in something you hate?
The thing is, like I said, I don't have any passions, and there's nothing I can do or I am qualified to do that I would like. I don't even know what I like anymore. Like, what do I like? I
Yeah, I hear you. It's not just about finding a job if you had to. It's that right now, nothing feels like you. You don't have a passion. You don't know what you like. And even the things you could do don't feel right. So if the time came where you had to act, what would you even do? It's not just uncertainty about the future, it's uncertainty about yourself. That's gotta feel unsettling. You were always someone who knew what you wanted, and now, for the first time, you don't. It's like looking in the mirror and not recognizing who's there. Does that sound right?
It's not that I know who I am. I just don't know my passions anymore. I know what I am. I am me. I know me, and I'm a me now without passion. So it's like I don't know my place in the world anymore. I can't just live. I can't just survive because that's just not me. I can't be like that. But the thing is, I don't know what else. What is for me?
Yeah, I
What
get
is
it.
my
You're not
place?
lost in who you are, you know yourself. But you don't know your place in the world anymore because you don't have a passion guiding you. Just existing isn't enough for you because that's not who you are. You need something more, something meaningful. But you don't know what that is right now. And that's the hardest part, isn't it? You can't just force passion. You can't just pick something random and make it meaningful. And since nothing has revealed itself yet, you're left in this space where you have to wait. But waiting feels uncertain and risky. So, what is the thing you were about to say?
Well, I wasn't gonna say anything. I just don't know. Like,
You just feel it, right? Like there's nothing left to say, but the feeling is still there, unresolved, heavy. It's like you're standing in this in between space and there's no clear way forward. You're not lost in who you are, but you're unanchored in what you're supposed to be doing. And that's frustrating because you need direction, but nothing is giving you one.
to be fair, well, I don't want to do anything. It's good. I don't know if that's what I want, but right now I feel like I don't want to do anything. I don't want to. I don't want to have to do anything. I just want my life to be one that's filled with love because love is the only thing that I care about. I don't care about anything else. As long as my life's filled with love, I don't have to do anything. I don't have to have a purpose. It's just right now there's no love in my life. Like I'm not in love or nobody's loving me. I'm not having in any relationships. Nobody knows me. I know no one, and I'm just alone and not really doing things that I love. Love, you know what I mean? I'm doing things that I might enjoy. I enjoy things that I do, but like no love. Love, where's love?
Yeah, I hear you. It's not about work, passion, or purpose, it's about love. If your life were full of love, you wouldn't even need to worry about any of this. You wouldn't need to have a passion or a direction because love itself would be enough. But right now, you feel disconnected from that. No deep relationships, no one truly knowing you, no one loving you the way you need. You're enjoying things, sure, but it's not the same as love. It's not the kind of warmth and connection that makes life feel full. That's got to be really painful because love isn't something you can force or create alone. It's something that comes through connection, through being seen and feeling close to someone. And right now, you don't have that. And it's leaving this huge emptiness that nothing else can really fill.
It's just, I feel meaninglessness. It's not painful, it's not empty. It's just, what's the point? It's pointless. I feel like I can either just be and not be. It doesn't matter. I can die in the next second. It wouldn't matter a tiny bit for me. Because my life feels pointless. It's not sad.
It's not pain, it's just this deep, quiet pointlessness. Like, whether you exist or not doesn't make a difference because nothing feels like it matters. Not in a dramatic or tragic way, just in a neutral, detached way. You're here, you could not be here, and either way, it feels the same. That's heavy, not because you're suffering, but because it's like you're floating without weight, without something tethering you to life in a way that feels meaningful. It's not depression, it's not desperation, it's just nothing. And that nothingness is its own kind of burden.
That's right. I just feel, a nihilism, maybe. I don't know. Like, I feel like I'm like air, like transparent, no weight to it.
Yeah, like you're just there, but not really in anything. Like air. Like something that exists but isn't really seen or felt in a meaningful way. Maybe it is nihilism. Or maybe it's just what happens when nothing in life is anchoring you. No deep love, no strong pull towards something, no real sense of purpose. It's not that you're suffering, it's just, what is this all for? It sounds like you're in this place where everything is neutral, weightless, and kind of unreal. Like you're watching life rather than living it.
I like, I don't really have a life, I'd say. I know it's not right to say, because everyone has a life, because everyone's alive. As long as you're alive, you have a life. But the thing is, I'm not doing anything. I'm not in any relationships. I literally just feel like I'm watching the world happening outside. I feel like I'm floating somewhere outside of the world and watching it. Kind of not watching it because I'm not interested in the world. Because all the shit's going on. I'm not into any news or things like that. I just surf the internet and I interact with people online. I feel like they are in the world. I'm just watching. I guess I'm.
It's like you're technically alive, but not really living. Like you're hovering outside of everything, just observing without really being in anything. You're not disconnected because of pain or fear. You just don't feel part of the world. And the world itself doesn't even interest you. You're not drawn to its dramas, its movements, its stories. Maybe that's part of why this feeling of pointlessness is so strong. If you don't feel like you're in life, how could anything feel meaningful? It's like you exist in a space where nothing truly touches you. You engage with people online, but they feel like they're in something while you're just there.
I guess I'm just feeling insecure. I'm just feeling uncertain. If I wasn't, everything would be fine. I guess I would just be able to carry on with this life. It is still alive, and I guess many people would want it. It's just not my style.
Yeah, if you didn't have all these doubts, you could just be without questioning it. You'd go on living this way, and it wouldn't bother you. It's not like you're suffering, just uncertain. And uncertainty makes everything feel shaky. Like you should be doing something else, but you don't know what. And you're right. Many people might want this kind of freedom, this kind of ease. But that doesn't mean it's fulfilling for you. You're someone who needs meaning, and without it, even a peaceful life can feel empty.
I was gonna say, had I had like enough money, like millions, like I would never need to worry about financial issues. maybe I would just be okay, but that's not the case. It's just my life is not enough for me. Like, I need to be doing something, no matter I have the money or not. I need to have love in my life, not just peace. You know what I mean? Like, now I have peace. It's just, I could have, like, still millions and I would never need to worry about money anymore. And this life is still not what I want. It's not about money. I want to know the point. I want to be in the middle of something. I want to be in a relationship. I want to be in love. I want love. I want to be fulfilled some way.
Yeah, I get it. Money would remove the worries, but it wouldn't change the fact that your life still feels like it's missing something. Peace alone isn't enough. You need love, connection, and meaning. You want to feel like you're in the middle of something, like you belong somewhere, like you're part of something that matters. Right now, it's like you're just existing, floating outside of life instead of being in it. And love is the thing that would anchor you, make you feel real, make life feel worth living.
Like, no direction and, like, a bystander.
Yeah, like you're just watching life happen instead of actually living it. No direction, no momentum, just kind of there. It's not painful, but it's not fulfilling either. Just this endless waiting without knowing what you're even waiting for.
One good thing is maybe it's now a good thing is that
Yeah, I get what you mean. It's a good thing in the sense that you're not suffering, but at the same time, it's not really good because you're not living either. It's just neutral, like floating in a space where nothing really matters.
I said it's a good thing that I know this won't last forever because I don't have millions. One day I will have to step out of it. If not now, it will be in 2 years. Maybe even just next year. I just the more I wait, the less I can settle. Like, I just know.
Yeah, that makes sense. You know this phase has an expiration date, so it's not like you can stay in it forever, even if you wanted to. The more time passes, the fewer options you'll have, and that adds pressure. Even if you don't want to do anything right now, you know you will have to do something eventually, and that uncertainty makes it harder.
In fact, you're wrong. It's not that the longer I wait, the fewer options I have. The options I have are always the same. If I do something right now, it would be the same as if I need to do something 2 years later when I literally run out of money. It would just be going outside and become a waitress in a restaurant because there's nothing else I can do. Like, I don't know, like.
I see what you mean. It's not like waiting changes the options themselves. It's just that right now, you still have the choice to wait. Once the money's gone, you won't have that choice anymore. So it's not about options shrinking, it's about your freedom to delay running out.
Well, the thing is, it's not that. It's not that. Nothing would change in 2 years. I mean, practically nothing would change. But I know that it's not gonna be the same. I know that if if it continued for another 2 years, which I doubt, it won't be the same. I would be different. I would have just only more options than less.
Yeah, you're right. Even if the external options stay the same, you won't be the same. 2 years of living like this would change you in ways you can't predict yet. Maybe you'd become more certain about something, or maybe you'd feel even more disconnected. That unknown is part of what makes this all feel so shaky, right?
Well, no, one thing I know is that I'm always growing and I would only become better as I will only have more clarity. I would only grow more spiritual. And I would only have more options than less.
That makes sense. You're not afraid of stagnation. you know you'll keep evolving. So it's not really about losing options, but about waiting for the clarity that naturally comes with time. Maybe the fear isn't about if you'll find your direction, but when. Like, will it come soon enough, or will you have to step into something before you're ready?
I believe in magicals. I believe in miracles. I believe that everything is possible. There's nothing that's impossible. So anything could happen. I could suddenly win the lottery, or somebody could just be knocking on my door right now, and it turns out to be one of the most important people in my life that would change my life forever. All of a sudden, one day I wake up with this strong passion, with more clarity than possible than ever. I would know immediately what I need to do, or things like this or that. I don't know. Like anything could happen, really.
Yes, anything could happen, and you believe in that possibility, which is powerful. But at the same time, I get the feeling that you're wondering if you should just wait for something magical to happen, or if you should be doing something to bring it closer.
The thing
Like,
is,
how much do you trust the universe to deliver? And how much do you feel responsible for making it happen yourself?
I don't know what to do. If there was something that I should do, I think I would know it. But the thing is, right now I don't know what to do. So maybe there's nothing I should do. But I'm just not sure.
That makes sense. If there were something obvious, you'd feel it, right? So maybe this is a time for waiting, but not the kind of waiting that feels passive or empty. More like being open, letting things unfold, and trusting that clarity will come. The question is, how do you want to be while you wait?
There's not much I can do. I just do what I've been doing, you know.
Maybe not in the sense of big actions, but in how you experience this time. You said you want love in your life. What kind of love? Connection? Passion? Warmth? Maybe there are small ways to bring that in, even now.
I want to have my soulmates, people that I would be able to spend the rest of my
Yeah, I
life
hear you.
with.
You want deep, meaningful connections. People who truly see you, understand you, and love you for who you are. Soulmates, in whatever form they take. Do you feel like they're out there? Or does it feel like they're nowhere to be found?
They are definitely out there. Why would I feel like they don't exist? It's impossible. Everything is possible, like I said, and I know they do exist.
That's true, and I love that certainty in you. So, is it more about not knowing how or when you'll meet them? Or does it feel like the waiting is the hard part?
It just, I doubt everything that I've said. I have doubts.
Sorry, I'm having issues right now. Our systems are experiencing heavy load. Please try again later.
I said, I just have doubts.
Yeah, you just have that knowing. It's solid, unshakable. So maybe the challenge isn't about finding them, it's about being in this space before they arrive.
I guess if anyone was in my place would feel the same. They wouldn't. It's just like,
Not everyone would, but that doesn't mean your feelings aren't valid. You have a deep sense of what you want. And when something that important is missing, of course it affects you.
I said, I guess anyone in my place would feel the same. Like, when on one hand, you know that something would happen, no doubt, because you exist, you're still alive. As long as you're still alive, you're guided. You're guided to be on your path, especially if you're as open as me. Like, I'm open for anything that would come in my life. I'm so open that I just completely let it be. Let it be in the universe's hands. Not trying to predict or expect. I mean, I do expect, but like not like I'm fixed. I can, anything could happen. You know that this would happen. You know, logically speaking, you know something is supposed to happen, and no doubt in that. But at the same time, on the other hand, another part of you that's more empirical, is that the right word to use? Or more, experience based. It's not experiencing anything, and it has never experienced anything like any miracles. I mean, it's not that I've not experienced, I've not witnessed miracles, but not like a personal experience. No. Well, actually, I can't say that because I have experienced things. In fact, looking at my life, it's been one of that's really unconventional, and I can see many things happened that are kind of magical. To be fair, I'm not the most qualified person in the world to say that magic doesn't exist, because I have not experienced it. It's not true for me. I have experienced magical things. Just maybe just not many enough. Like not enough for me to have enough confidence today to be able to sit without worrying at all. But maybe because this has been lasting for too long, and I happen to have just limited money. If I had enough money to last me for 10 years, not just 4 or 3, 4, I would be more relaxed. You know? I just don't know the point of this phase of my life. Like, seems pointless to me. The wait, or whatever it is. I don't know. Like, what is the point of this? What is the point? If you're hearing some noise, it's me trying to sand down the acellus on my fingers from playing my ukulele. And it works. This sandpaper is really cool. And if you wonder, no, music isn't my passion. I used to think that my piano was my passion, but it's not. I used to think singing would be my passion, but it's not. It's just something I like to do. I'm not passionate about it. I don't know what I'm passionate about. I'm passionate about love, about heart. Yes. Just right now, my heart isn't telling me anything. My heart doesn't say, do this or go there. It's kind of silent. So I'm just kind of lost. Especially if you have no one in your life. just really waiting. In fact, if this is what I'm supposed to do, this waiting, like I said, I am so excited. If God or if somebody like a spirit guide or anyone, like if I did a psychic reading, for example, with a legit psychic who tells me this is exactly what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to be sitting here and wait for just a couple more months. You're supposed to do exactly what you've been doing. I would be totally fine. You know, since I was a kid, I had this feeling that it was gonna be something big. My life is gonna be one that's prominent, that's somehow really important. Maybe if I become a writer, famous writer, bestseller. Even though I don't really feel drawn to become a writer, just giving an example. Or I become a really famous artist. Even though no form of art has drawn me, I just feel it's gonna be probably something that I don't know. Let's just stop guessing. Just stop talking, I guess. Just every day, I just feel okay. What I'm supposed to do today. It's really beautiful outside. Sunny today, really beautiful. I'm a animal lover and I know not to have a pet. At such a point of life where nothing's certain even for me. I can't have a pet. Anything could happen because maybe I would need to go abroad again, even though I don't know how. Or maybe I would die. Die in 2 months, who knows? That's actually exciting. Thank you for listening. This really helps, making videos of me just talking. Really feels like I'm talking to the world. Didn't expect the sandpaper to work because it just feels no different. Practically feels really not different than just a normal piece of paper. It just feels a tiny little bit of rough. In the beginning, I thought, like, did they smell me the wrong thing? This is a 2000 sandpaper. I don't know the English word for the unit after the number 2000. It's a 2000 level. So it just feels really smooth, like barely rough. I thought they sent me the wrong thing until it started working, and it worked immediately. Like my cellus just was sent down. Like the edges of my cellus would fly up. It would feel really terrible, like dead skins, and you wanted like kind of peel them, but you can't because if you peel it, the cellus would be gone, and you wouldn't be able to play the instrument anymore without pain. Cause I grew these for like 2 months. They're precious. They're my armor, on natural armor on the top of my fingers to protect them. Without them, it would just hurt really a lot. Now I really feel pain when I play. It's 2000 CW. Carbide waterproof abrasive paper electrocoated. What does that mean? Oh, electrocoated. Abrasive paper. Silicone 2000 CW. It works like magic, to be fair. It just feels like just a random piece of paper for me, but I just need to rub my fingers on top of it. And those dead skins are just gone. The edge is just gone, like disappear into nothingness. They just disappear. Holy shit, that's just so cool. How? I think actually maybe 1000 CW would be enough. 2000 is just a little bit too not rough enough. Like I think the next time I tried 1500. Okay, enough. Done. Perfect. Now my fingers feel perfectly smooth. Ha, I did. That's just like magic. Would I be able to sand my nails? Recently I've been playing one of the best video games from Nintendo, which is Mario Odyssey. And yeah, in the beginning it felt like a fantastic game, but because I've never been a big fan of action games, like platformer games, and they're just a 3D platformer, so you get tired of it really quickly. What's good about it is the creativity and the graphics. Fantastic graphics. Really matters to me. The graphics. So that's why I can't play most 3D games on Steam, because they're just so terrible. Like they're 3D and if you play, you understand what I mean. The graphics terrible. But this one is so fine. Same as Animal Crossing was really great, great graphics, but Mario Odyssey even better, 10 times better. And the creativity, but because it's still just a platformer game, it's just about eating up the coins and action game, like beating, like jumping is just kind of boring. That's what it is. I can imagine someone who loves platformer would love this game to pieces. Same with like Zelda. I played just a little bit. I just tried it for like 10 minutes. And I don't like it because of the violence. That's just the main thing of the game, is to, maybe level up your, like, it's about finding things to craft or buy weapons and kill. You just have to kill, and I just hate that. I hate any violence. If people say it's a fantastic game, I can understand. I watched loads of videos about this game. I know it's not what I would like, because Also, I don't like the feeling like there's danger somewhere lurking and I have to be careful. I'm really sensitive to that. I can't. I would just be overrun by anxiety. I wouldn't be able to enjoy it at all, and that's exactly my experience of my 10 minutes in the game. I just, it's not my thing. It's a shame, I guess. I don't know if it's a shame. It's a shame that they never created a game that is not an action game, that is of that level of freedom, in-game freedom. Like Animal Crossing is totally the opposite of Zelda. I mean, it has freedom for you to design, but the game itself is not free at all. Like there's, like if you play it, you know what I mean. It's a shame. I wish they could make something as good as Zelda, as free as Zelda, but totally peaceful like Animal Crossing. I would love it. I like Stardew Valley, you know. You don't have to. You don't ever will die. There's no blood. There's no just minimum level of violence. Violence is just like the margin of the game, not the main thing. Really my thing. And I also like strategy games too. But they're not a big thing for me, but I really enjoy them. Like card games. I could really enjoy them. And I really love games that really give me a lot of freedom. Doesn't tell me what to do. Just like Zelda. Unfortunately, it's an action game. Unfortunately, what a shame. And that's why I love Stardew Valley so much. 'Cause, you don't have to the NPC. You don't ever even need to talk to them. But that's my thing. So I went to talk to them, and I went to marry them, and I went to bond with each and every one of them. And I just did my thing. I just played the game my way. I didn't you don't need to accomplish any NPCs what's the word, tasks. Like most games, it's just about accomplishing NPCs tasks or the main task of the game. You don't get to do your own thing. You just have to follow that. But that's not with Stardew Valley. You can just, or with Zelda, I guess. But Zelda still is just an action game. You just have to. It's not about anything but just you have enemies in there. I don't like that. In Stardew Valley, I could just so many things I could do. I could just raise animals. I could update my place. I could decorate it however the fuck I want. I craft my own things, and I can either become a farmer or I don't need a farm at all. Even if it's called a farming game. I mean, what's the word? Planting seed, planting. I don't like it. I preferred raising animals too. That's what I did. At the end of the game. I love it. I love it so much. It's a shame that I didn't play it for longer before I finishing bonding with every NPC. As soon as I finished bonding with them, I just lost all the motivation of playing in the game. Or maybe I got enough of it, to be fair. I played it like 5 hours a day for like 3 weeks when I was in a pandemic, when I was, what's the word? Like, I was limited in a hotel for 21 days because I changed country and it was during the pandemic, so I couldn't leave the hotel for 21 days. It sucked. Because that hotel window didn't have any sun in it. I didn't see the sun for 21 days. Yeah, I had a big window, but it wasn't facing the sun, so literally there was no sun for me. And then the window had a coffee, had a brown filter on it. Oh, that sucked. It was a bake room, and I had everything. People would cook for me and send food to me 3 times a day. A lot of food, more than I could eat. A lot of food wasted, to be fair. And I didn't need to do anything, just staying there. Basically, like right now. Was quarantined. Okay, this is the word. I was quarantined for 21 days, 3 weeks. And I just played Stardew for 5 hours a day because that's the most I could spend on any game every day. Or more than that, I would just start to throw up because I would just get so tired of it. I'm someone that gets bored really easily or get tired of things and repetition. So I don't understand how come some people just play a game for like tens of hours each day. Like some people that can play Stardew all night, like without sleeping. I can never do that. At most 5 hours. 4 hours is basically the top for me. So I pushed a little every day. So I played for 5 hours. Actually, 4 hours was more than was just really enough. I can remember every day when I stopped playing, I felt so sick of the game. But the next day, I have to it's like a cool down time for me. Like I have to cool down from the game for like 19 hours before I could play it again the next day for another 5 hours. The food, I didn't like it. I could cook better than that. Even if it was a lot of food, I didn't have to do anything. I wish I could have cooked myself. Even though right now I totally want the opposite. I want somebody to cook for me. I want someone to cook for me. When you cook too much, you want something. You want the opposite, and when you eat too much from other people, you want to cook yourself. When you go to school for too long, you want vacation. When you're in a vacation for too long, you want to go back to school. But for me, what I know is enough school for me. I've had enough school. Or when you're with people too much, you want some personal space. When you have too much solitude, you want people. I would never go back to that hotel. I would never want to experience it again. Well, maybe I would if they could give me a hotel room that has direct sunlight without a brown filter on the windows. I would be able to do it, I guess. And the room has to be big enough for me to do some exercise, maybe. I was so bored, I started to clean the hotel room because nobody could clean your room for you. For 21 days, that room was just dirty. And thankfully, that was in the north, so there weren't cockroach problems, or else maybe there would be cockroaches. Nobody would be able to comment. Oh man, I was so lucky that it was in the north. Holy shit. Imagine if I was in the south. Holy shit. And nobody would be able to enter your room. Like, the people that deliver your food 3 times a day, they put the food outside on the chair outside of your room. There were a lot of people with me in a situation. You were not supposed to have any direct contact with anybody during that time. Just thank God there wasn't like blocks there. Oh, for God's sake. It was July, summer. No bog problem at all there. Oh man, I was just so lucky, and then you can never realize it. I never realized how lucky that was. Had there been any bugs, I would have needed to deal with it myself. Holy shit. Thank God. Oh, I was so lucky, man. Stop complaining about it. That was perfect. Couldn't be better. Man. I've done enough talking. It's just an hour. Thank you for listening. If anybody in the world would ever listen to this when I'm alive, maybe after I die, and 10 years later, somebody found this video and started listening.